This video is about phase 3 building commissioning, construction phase commissioning. That is systems installation up to but not including power on. This really is about quality control. It's about early identification and remediation of issues. It's about managing risk by finding issues as early as possible before they become expensive. For example, if I find a 3-port valve in the wrong way round during early construction, it's cheaper and easier to turn that the right way around and fix it than if I find that 2 or 3 weeks prior to substantial completion when the system is filled, flushed and vented. So that's just an example, but there's 1,000 examples like that. So it's about early indication of problems and fixing them as early as possible to take risk out the back of the job. And when you remove risk from the end of the job, you're also removing risk to completion, risk to schedule. So there are 5 tasks in this phase, and they are not normally specified well or asked for well. And that is on design teams. For the love of God, please just think about what should be put in the spec and put it in there. If you want factory acceptance testing, put it in there. Every contractor I meet doesn't feel they need to do construction phase commissioning, and that's fine. Someone has to do these things though. So either the design team needs to specify it and also need to specify who does it. But let's talk about the 5 tasks. So task number 1 is factory acceptance testing. So this is about going to factory testing for mission critical equipment. So for example, if it's a data center, mission critical equipment would be PDUs, generators, UPSs, chillers, maybe your handling units or crack units. So the reason for doing that is to go to the factory, do a full load performance test, and then you're taking risk out the job at the end because you know this thing has been specified properly and it meets the peak load performance. That's the reason for doing it. Factory acceptance testing is a risk management strategy. It is never, not rarely, never specified properly. Please put in the spec what equipment needs to be factory tested and who should attend. That way it can be priced properly. Every job I've ever worked in, this is a, oh, we've got to do that, this is an extra. It's always a big problem. Please specify it. If your building is not mission critical, maybe you don't need to do it. But certain buildings with mission critical equipment need it. Site acceptance testing. This is about coming to site and doing some random witnessing of installation tests. It could be pipework pressure tests. It could be cable continuity tests. But these are site acceptance tests. They are a responsibility of the contractor, but the commissioning engineer or commissioning manager should sample witness some of them to get a feel for any quality installation issues and to know it's going well, right? These witnessing items should be documented and put in as an appendix to the commission report. Again, if this is required by a third party, such as a commission engineer, the design team need to specify it. If it's not, we don't do it. The third task is site inspections for commissioning issues. So what that means is I'm going to come to your site maybe 3 or 4 times on the run up to power on, and I'm going to walk the job. If I see any issues that are wrong or incorrect, I'm going to let you know about it, and we're going to fix those issues early rather than find them towards the end of construction prior to substantial completion. Any issues found early can be fixed cheaply. The earlier you find it, the cheaper you can fix it. And if I'm there, if there's any other site acceptance testing in my ductwork pressure testing, for example, we can do that. So again, this is optional technically, but if it is required and the building is mission critical, the more expensive a mission critical the building is, the more this is required, then it needs to be specified. I'm talking to you, design team. Number 4, task number 4, construction phase commissioning plan. So the design phase commissioning plan is a full commissioning plan without the functional performance test sheets in. The reason they're not there is because you need the approved sequence of operation. That is the sequence of operation that has been reviewed by the designer and the vendor and has been approved and signed off by the record of engineer, because those form the basis of the commissioning functional testing. So that needs to be added in. So the plan needs to be updated based on submittal and approved submittal information. That's the construction phase commissioning plan. Task number 5 is commissioning schedule. Commissioning schedule, again, may or may not be the commission engineer's job. This may be something the construction or the MEP firm manage, but we need to provide input into it. Again, if the commissioning schedule needs to be done by the commissioning firm, that needs to be specified. These things need to be called out in the spec. So all these 5 items here could and should be done by the commissioning specialist. 8 times out of 10, they're not done by the commissioning specialist, and 5 times out of 10, they're not done by anybody. So again, this is about managing quality into the job in terms of quality control and finding issues early. Just on a side note, commissioning plan versus method statements. If you're from the UK, there is a system of paperwork that has to be put involved called method statements. They are pretty much tied to health and safety issues. So the idea is you write a method statement, you lay out the means, methods, and the risk mitigation around your testing. In North America, there's no real method statements. So commissioning plan with functional performance test is equivalent to a full commissioning method statement. So again, the commissioning plan can have method statements in, but you don't need to double up. Either go with a full commissioning plan with functional performance test sheets in it, or go for a method statement system per system. You don't need to duplicate. And the completion of construction phase is really construction up to and but not including power on. This is called static completion. If the system is fully installed and just prior to power on, that is called static completion. That is a milestone in that system's evolution from design to construction to commissioning to handover. So static completion, again, is the 100% completion of installation prior to power on. That's it.